Let me ask you a question. How many times in your recovery have you had success for short periods of time? Let's say maybe it's 15 days, maybe 30 days, maybe even gone 90 days or perhaps 6 months, because I hear from men all the time that tell me they've gone 6 months, a year clean, yet they find themselves falling back into the same destructive patterns of behavior. Now, if the answer to that question is yes, I have had those experiences where I've had success, but I find myself still caught up and still struggling with this addiction. Then the next question arises is, in those moments of success, were there things that you were doing that you're not doing now? Meaning, were the things that were contributing to you staying clean and staying free and staying sober from pornography, did you stop doing them? You know, there's a saying in the fitness community that if you want to lose weight permanently, it must become a lifestyle. I saw this time and time again as my experience with a coach, working as a coach. We would have clients that would find some success for short periods of time, 30-day diets, 60-day diets, 15-day cleanse and detoxes, 90-day muscle building journeys. But then once those moments are done, and they stop paying attention to the little variables that are contributing to the success, they find themselves falling right back to where they were before. Now, this is because they haven't embraced the identity. They haven't become the healthy individual. And this person that is constantly going through this in the fitness community, it's called yo-yo dieting. You lose weight, you put the weight back on. You lose weight again, you put even more back on. In our pursuit to freedom from pornography, this is the relapse recovery cycle. And with every turn back, every failure, your confidence is shattered. And you become less confident in yourself of will you ever be able to get free of this completely? Because we haven't embraced the identity of being a porn-free man. We haven't embraced the identity of being a healthy, fit, not overweight person. Because our actions follow our identity. So if we don't fully embrace what it means to live in freedom, if we don't fully embrace what it means to be our ideal weight, then eventually we will find ourselves returning back to the destructive behaviors. Self-help legend Wayne Dyer says, you don't make the goal of becoming a millionaire to make $1 million. You set the goal of becoming a millionaire to become the person that can make $1 million. Because once you hold and embrace and live out that identity, it doesn't matter what happens to you. You can go and do it again. The foundation of Rebuilt Recovery here, why we've been so successful at helping men get free of pornography, is because we understand that in order to overcome your pornography addiction for good, you must become the man that is no longer addicted to porn. And men, what we must realize is that freedom is not an end destination. Freedom is a continuous pursuit that we are on for the rest of our lives. Freedom from pornography doesn't end after 30 days of clean and sobriety. Freedom from pornography doesn't end at the end of a 90-day streak. And in fact, this is why streaks and counting days is not an effective strategy. Because the person that is counting the days that they've gone without pornography is not living out the identity of a man that is free of pornography. The person that is tracking and counting his days is the person that is still identifying as somebody that struggles. Because if you didn't, there wouldn't be a need to count the days. We must understand this in ourselves, that if we are going to live a life free of pornography, there are new habits, there are new belief systems, there are new things that we must do every single day for the rest of our lives. If you lay a foundation to build a home on, and then you pull that foundation out from underneath the home will crumble. if for 30, 60, 90 days you lay a foundation for living a life free of pornography, but once you hit a certain point without pornography, you rip the foundation out, your life will crumble, just like the home did. And you may be asking yourself, what are those things that build the foundation? I can't give you all of them because it's going to be unique to you. But the foundation must be built upon understanding what your root cause is. Shot an entire episode recently on how to get to the root of your addiction. You then must develop new habits, new routines, new ways of living, new ways of seeing the world. You must equip yourself with tools of self-regulation. So when you're stressed, triggered, anxious, tired, your default mechanism to handle those things must no longer become pornography. But once again, freedom from pornography is not an end destination. It must become a continuous pursuit that we are on for the rest of our lives. Chasing things that fulfill us. Chasing opportunities that bring us rewards. So we don't need meaningless pleasure in our lives. We must understand that we can appreciate and acknowledge a woman's beauty without allowing ourselves to objectify and go down the path of participating in it. These are all the characteristics and traits of a porn-free man. But if you don't fully embody them, if you don't envision yourself as this individual first and then live that out on a daily basis, you will not succeed. You may for a short period of time, but your life will be one of constant relapse and recovery. Relapse, recovery, relapse, recovery. Freedom is found in what you do on a daily basis and who you become in the pursuit of removing pornography from your life. When I was 15 years old, I found the gym, and it changed my life forever. I came from a family of overweight, obese people. Many times we'd hold on to the identity that we are big-boned, which is a false belief, because if you've ever seen a human skeleton, they're all pretty much the same density. But when I looked around at everybody in my life, everybody struggled with a little bit of weight issues. But when I found the gym, when I found weight training and bodybuilding, I saw that by doing the things that I was in control of, I could change the outcome of my life. Now here I stand 25 years later, still a healthy individual, not somebody that struggles with weight, and I haven't for over 2 decades. It's because I believe that I could do it, but it's actually because I took that belief and I put it into practice. Working out training is like breathing for me these days. If I don't do it, I don't feel the day was complete. I get my 10K plus steps in it. I don't even know where it is. That's not something that I track. Probably somewhere closer to 12 to 15,000 steps on a daily basis. And it happens by habit, not because I need to think about it. And that's why I don't track these things. I used to keep a weight book. I used to keep a log of all my workouts. Now, after 2 decades in the game, it's not something, because I'm not really working towards specific goals with what I'm lifting. I'm training because it's a part of who I am. I live out the life of being a healthy, fit, trained individual. And if I miss a couple days, I feel off a little bit. It's so ingrained in who I've become. But I also know that if I'm going to continue to succeed for the rest of my life, I must continue to do the things that have produced the success in my life. And the same thing goes for my freedom. The airing of this episode, we are celebrating 5 years free of pornography. February 4th, 2019, my life changed forever because I made a decision to embrace the new identity of a porn-free man. I sat in a car with one of my best friends in the world and said, Zach, I'm committed to becoming the man that no longer needs this in his life. I didn't understand when I was saying that I was beginning down the path of changing thousands of men's lives, but that is what we have done. I still must continue to do the things, though, that produced the success early on in my life. Daily gratitude practice, putting myself in uncomfortable situations. journaling, spending time in the Word, focused on the growth of who I am, focused on service-oriented life first. What can I do for other individuals is how I wake up and live my life out every single day. That's why we produce these episodes 100% for free. But I also know that if I stop doing all these things, it's very easy for me to fall back to where I was. So man, the underlying message here today is freedom is not an end destination. You will be on this continuous pursuit for the rest of your life. And I don't want that to sound daunting, because it will be challenging early on, because you're changing your default patterns. You're changing who you're becoming. But once you become that individual, it's a whole lot easier to live that lifestyle out. I don't need to worry about tracking calories. I don't need to worry about what foods I don't have in my house anymore. I used to have to keep all the junk food out because it'd be very easy for me to just binge on it. Now I know, because it's who I am. And the same thing goes for my freedom. It's who I am, it's who I became, and it's who I will continue to be for the rest of my life. Now, guys, if you are not clear on who you can become without pornography, that may be the thing that is holding you back from breaking free. So I want to give you a tool to help you identify the life that you can live without pornography. If you click the link down there in the show notes or visit rebuiltrecovery.com/vision, I put together 5-part training that walks you through the process of identifying who you can be without pornography in the next 5 years and what you must do to live this life of freedom. rebuiltrecovery.com/vision. Thousands of men have gone through this exact training, and it's changed the trajectory of their life forever. It will change the trajectory of your life if you allow it to do so. Click the link down there in the show notes, guys. Hit subscribe if you're watching here on YouTube channel. Make sure to leave us a 5-star rating if you're listening on the audio side. But we love you guys. But remember, your freedom will be something that you continue to pursue for the rest of your life. God bless you guys. Coach Frank, Rebuilt, man. We love you guys. We'll see you on the other side.